Alright, good morning, welcome back to Twin Stick Garage. Welcome to the channel. If you're new here, what I do, my name's Mark. I fix up old semi-trucks in my spare time just because I love trucking and old trucks, and it's just kind of a hobby and a passion of mine. And this is my latest project, 79 Kenworth. I'm doing it up in the spirit of the one used, the 1974 truck used in the Smokey and the Bandit movie.
And it got to the bottom, safe and sound. Everybody asked Bandit how he made it down.
And I've been working on this one for quite a while now. I've got a list of things that I still need to get completed to actually call this project done. I mean, realistically, projects are never done. There's usually something you want to change or tweak. But this one's getting close. But there's one issue that I've been having that's kind of really been bugging me is the starter. So for those familiar with these old trucks, this is a series parallel switch that takes the 12-volt batteries that are in parallel and hops it up to send 24 volts to the starter. And I was having a real problem with this. This is actually a new one that I bought from Kenworth a little over a year ago, and it still wasn't working. So I had some friends stop by a few weeks ago and they gave me a new idea, and I think I've got a new angle on what I can do to delete this from the truck and run 12 volts in parallel and 12 volts in series and have the whole mess work together with hopefully without burning the truck to the ground. So let's get started on that and see if we can't wire it up and make it work. Yeah. Okay, so like I was saying, Peg and Dallas, zip ties and bias plies, and single drive, they stopped in, they were on their way down to Ritchie Brothers. They were picking up a bunch of stuff that they bought at the last sale. And they stopped in to have a bit of a BS session and have a few beers. And we're sitting here looking at the snowman truck and they go, well, let's hear it, want to hear it run. And I went, well, unfortunately I can't start it because the last time I had it outside the shop, I don't know if it was a starter at the time or this series parallel switch. So I actually got the missus to pull start me and I got the truck started and backed it in here and it's been sitting ever since. So Dallas, being the sharp mechanic that he is, went, well, 12 volts can't kill you. It's not like DC can't kill you. It's not as dangerous as AC. So he grabbed onto this thing and just pulled this plunger down, which basically what happens is the solenoid pulls this plunger and it connects those two contacts and sends the power down to the starter. So he held that down and he goes, okay, get in and try and start it. So I hit the key and the truck started. So it's obviously the starter was fine. It was this dumb series parallel switch. So we'll go ahead and get rid of that. And what we did was we kind of cobbled together, like I was saying, a 24 volt for the starter and 12 volts in parallel for the truck. So what we did was we took the, what is it now, the negative to the positive here to connect these two batteries together. And then the positive from this guy is what we wired, and that goes down to the starter. And then the ground comes in from the truck. So these two batteries are connected together and just run the starter. Then these two here are in parallel like they normally are, and they run the 12 volts to the truck, and they obviously get the charge from the alternator. And then we connected this guy, so this bank, into this battery in parallel. So this guy's getting the charge, and then this guy's kind of getting the reverse charge. It's getting a little bit of charge kind of in a roundabout way. And I did a little research online, and what I discovered is when you have two batteries in series, they won't charge equally. So what will happen is this guy is going to get all the power from this bank and it'll stay nice and charged, and this one will eventually just go to zero. So I looked on Amazon and you can get what's called a battery equalizer. So this seems kind of small, but hopefully it works. I'm going to have to put some bigger ends on there. But what this essentially does is takes the charge that's coming in and levelizes it between these two batteries and keeps these both at full. So what I want to do, we just cobbled together what we had just to validate that the system would work, and then we ran it for a while to make sure it wasn't going to burn the truck to the ground. And I kind of drew a diagram that I'm going to try and copy now. And what I want to do is I'm going to run some new wires, I'm going to make some new ends. I'm going to actually drill some holes for these shut-off switches, and I'm going to mount them at the back here. And hopefully I can make this work and look a lot cleaner. So I'll go ahead and get started with that and see if we can't delete that series parallel switch for good. Alright, so I just decided to open the door and let some fresh air in and get some of those paint fumes out of there. But beautiful winter morning, sunrise. Okay, so as you saw in the time lapse, what I ended up doing was I put in 3 shut-off switches. And these will be nice because now I can actually disconnect and shut off the batteries and isolate them from the truck without having to remove the battery box cover. So this first one here is going to be to isolate the 24 volts that goes down to the starter, because that'll stay hot all the time. So I wanted to have an interrupt in that one. And then the other 2 are going to isolate both the positive and the negative hops from those 2 front batteries that are in parallel to the 2 that are in series. I wanted to be able to isolate those 2 banks and leave that, like I say, separated when I'm not using the truck. So what I'll do is I'll wait for that paint to dry up a little bit, and then I'll start making some wires. All right, so I gotta put, these lugs just aren't quite big enough to go over the stumps on the battery. So I'm gonna go to the next size up that I have, which are a little too big, but at least they'll fit on there. And what I was gonna do is crimp them and solder them, because the wire is gonna be a little small for inside that. So I got this gift in the mail from Greg. Thought these would step up your wiring game. This is a stripper and a crimper tool that we use. They were life-changing. Remember, if you got it, a trucker brought it, G Blonde on YouTube. So thanks for that, Greg. I really appreciate it. So let's just see what he sent us. Oh, look at that. That's even fancier than my little one. So that'll be my new favorite tool going forward. And then I'm guessing this is the crimper. Oh, look at this bad boy. Oh, yeah. And color-coded too. So yeah, we'll just put her in the yellow there and give her a squish. So what I'll do first is we'll give these all a cut. Oh, this is a nice tool. My wire strippers before didn't have a cutter on them, so I had to have 2 tools to get the job done. Oh, look at that. I hate Tommy Lasorda. Appreciate the fans and the viewers out there trying to help me step up my game. Okay, let's see how this guy works. So, I guess it doesn't matter which way it goes in there. Okay. Wire in. Again, this wire's a little small though. I don't know if this is going to work. We'll give it a try though. Oh, isn't that nice? Beautiful. There. Okay, good and tight. Little warning here as well. To protect alternator and batteries when boosting or charging, always connect positive and negative to negative. Well, yeah, good advice. Ground cables should be removed first and connected last. That's a good tip. Okay, so what do I need to do now? I need to start measuring out how far of wires I need to make to get to these cutoffs. Okay, so I want to split these two connections here to those switches. So let's say I want a little extra, maybe 30 inches. So two 30s and maybe two 24s. Okay, so I got some new goodies from Amazon. And the first one is this spring-loaded crimper. Now I wonder if I should just temporarily bolt it into my workbench here so it doesn't wiggle around when I hit it with the hammer. But the idea is I can take, and I know I cheaped out, I went to 4 gauge. I probably should have went a little bigger. But again, this is just connecting the two banks together. It's not like the super high voltage going down to the starter. And copper wire is expensive right now. Okay, so it's all ball bearings nowadays.
Wash those windows. They've got filth and muck on them.
Everybody knows you've been stepping on my toes, and I'm getting pretty tired of it. Been stepping out of line and I'm messing with my mind. If you had any sense, you'd quit. But ever since you were a little bitty teeny girl, said I was the only man in this whole world. Now you better do some thinking and you'll find you got the only daddy that walked the line.
Oh, special shout out to Rick for sending me a bulldog. When I was doing an on the hunt walk around, I said I always wanted a bulldog for my shop, and he had one laying around, and he said, you know what, I'm going to send it to you. So thanks so much for that. It's going to look good up here on my shelf of fame. So originally I was going to solder. As you can see, I was set up here, and I was going to put solder it in, and then I was going to crimp it and do a double. But this crimping tool is actually pretty slick, and it does a nice job. So I think I'm just going to leave it as crimped. Now, I think what I'm going to do is take this off of here when I'm done and bolt it on my metal bench, because when I do this, man, it does a nice job. Check that out. So yeah, I just picked that up off Amazon. I think that'll hold just fine. So I'll finish up making these cables and then move to the next step. All right, so hopefully I cut these to the right length. Let's see, that's the 2 shorts and the 2 longs. Okay, so what I wanted to do was to go from this guy, positive. Now, I put these little rubber boots over top just because if something ever fell in here, I don't mind having positive terminals up top here, but on the side it'd be awfully easy to throw a wrench in there and maybe hit that and make a connection. So it's going to go like that. And then the other positive. Wait, hang on. Come on, Mark, get this straight. It goes from positive here, in, and then positive back. Oh no, I did it right. All right. Positive. Back to this one. Yeah, that's right. Okay. All right, bolt that all down. Alright, I wanted to put a new end on the wire that goes down to the starter. Just flatten that a touch. And we'll shrink wrap that. And again, that's going to go to this disconnect switch at the front here. So I got positive from this guy going in, through the switch, and then down to the starter. Yeah, I was also able, thanks to Dallas's help, there's 2 circuit breakers on the front here. And when we had this all connected up, this circuit breaker kept blowing out. And then we realized that the wires from the front circuit breaker were just going down to that series parallel switch. So deleted all that, and now we just have the 1 circuit breaker. So this is the positive from the bank that's in parallel, and this goes through the circuit breaker, and then this sends power up to the I guess fuse panel inside the truck there behind the dash, and powers all the lights and all the other junk. There's still a lot more wiring that needs to be done in the truck. This is kind of the start. There's some stuff that needs to be repaired in there, and then I need to send wiring down out to the headlights and out to the little clearance marker lights on the side of the hood and at the front of the hood. So this truck is, what does Freiberger say? He goes, he's got a new shirt. I gotta get me one of those. But I like finishing a project. It's easy to get a lot of motivation to get to that point, to get it to drive. And then what some people do once the truck's running and driving, they'll just kind of leave the other stuff and never get to it. But I kind of want to finish. I kind of want to finish all of it, and I guess you get the benefit of lots of episodes. But hopefully these series give a sense of the amount of work that's got to go into getting a truck all the way to completion. Okay, I don't remember him being absent 9 times.
9 times.
All right, I think we're just about ready to hook this mess up. Okay, don't need that. Don't need that. Don't need that. Oh, this was a pretty slick little tool. It's a little hole drill I got off Amazon to drill the 3/4 inch hole for those isolation switches. Okay, so, oh, I know one thing I still need to wire up is the, where'd I put it? My little battery equalizer. Okay, so we got A and B battery. This is gonna go, the black's gonna go to negative on the A battery, so here. And then red goes to the positive on your second battery, like so. And then white goes to negative on this same battery, something like that. Now where am I gonna put this little box? That's gonna, so I could zip tie it. Yeah, maybe I could just zip tie that down. Okay, so there's that. Now, these ones connect together like so. And take your time with this, Mark. Last time I hurried, I got them wrong. My cousin told me it doesn't matter if it's in a truck or it's in a tractor. It'll all, oh! And this should be exactly the same way that we had it wired when Dallas was here. All right, let's turn the switches on. Okay, so now this wire here on positive is what's going to engage the solenoid on the starter. So there's still more work to be done because I need to connect this up inside the cab. I'm going to run it through a relay, and then I'm going to use that ether button in the cab to start. But let's give this a try to see if I actually did this right. Neutral, keys on. Yeah! What? That ain't good. What the hell? No, I'm an idiot. This signal to this power down to the starter needs to be 24 volts, not 12. So that's why I shouldn't touch it to those. So it's got to be off of this terminal here. There we go. Sweet. Okay, so now that I've figured that out, that this guy needs 24 volts, Dallas also suggested that I get an auto relay, and I got a continuous duty 12 or 24 volt relay. So what this is going to do is this is going to make the connection. See, it's a 24 volt, so it's going to make the connection between this side and this terminal here. Of course, we were just bypassing it. And then these two terminals are going to go up to my keyed power and then that push button. I'm going to use that ether button right in here. If you recall from an earlier episode, this was the keyed power that the wire that I sent down to that fuel shutoff solenoid. So I still need to set this wire up and run it through a relay, a fused relay. But right now what I'm going to do is take it power from here and run it to one side of this push button switch. And then this one will go down to the relay that I'm going to mount local to the down by the batteries. So when I push the button, and then this one will go to ground. So when I push the button, it'll make contact between these two terminals, and then this relay will be, so this will be a wire coming from that 24 volt post, and then this wire will be from that orange wire that I was touching on that post. So when I push this button, it'll make contact here and allow power to flow through between that orange wire and that post, which will ignite the starter, which will engage the starter solenoid and hopefully start the truck. So again, this used to be an ether injection button. I don't know if that got deleted somewhere along the way because I still haven't found the ether canister, but a lot of these old trucks had a little ether button in the cab that you could push and just give it a little shot and get it going on cold mornings. But I figure it's going to be the perfect button, and it's right beside the key to use as my starter button. So I'll try and wire that up and see if it'll work. There was no instructions that came with the relay, but I think I got it right. So this is the orange wire that I was touching to the terminal. It's on the one big terminal in the relay. And then I still need to connect this guy up. Where's my 9/16? And then I ran key power, like I said, to the switch. And then from the switch is this red wire here. And then I believe the other side of the relay just goes to ground. So we'll see if this works. No sparks, good. Okay, turn all the switches on. On, on, on. Okay, on the truth. Neutral, keys on. Nothing. Damn it. Okay, troubleshooting time. Okay, why isn't this relay working? I know how to test it. We'll get a wire and do 12 volts from the front battery here. Oh. Battery power here. Nothing. Oh, shit! That's ground. Yeah, I might have fried it. Although I didn't hear it click or smoke or anything, so I don't know. Nothing. Nothing, nothing, nothing. No, I had it wired correctly. I guessed right. So this guy needs to be a ground. And then, so if you look on the picture, it's got switch power, 12 volt from the source. So that would have been from the button into one of these terminals, and then the other one goes to ground. So I did guess correct. And then it's got battery on one side and then starter on the other. So this, I wonder if that's what's going on here, because this, no, but this is going to the starter. This is the wire down to the starter. Does it matter which way it flows? I suppose that's possible. I could do it the other way. But I don't think that would matter, would it? All I'm trying to do is connect, I'm just trying to connect the two terminals using a relay, because if I use the wire across them, starts the truck. So when I send 12 volt power to this terminal, assuming this stupid relay is working right, it should connect those two lines just like I've got it set up. So the only thing I can figure out is this thing is not, is this stripped? Is this relay's junk? I guess that's what you get when you buy stuff online off Amazon for $25. So I may have to go get what the hell's going on here? I may have to go get another relay. Problem is it's 24 volts flowing through there, so 24 volt relays are a little harder to find. But this should work. I don't get it. It's pretty simple the way I got it set up here. Like this is direct 12 volts. There's just nothing there, nothing going on. Oh, what's that I hear? Oh, look at that, 359. This is Marty. He reached out to me on Kijiji. He wants to buy the old pipes off Little by Little, so I'll go out there and say hi.
Your trucks don't have those?
No, I don't have an auto shutdown. I'm just sitting here visiting with Marty and his truck just shut off. So what do you call that again?
Kaiser shutdown timer.
Kaiser shutdown timer. Huh. That's nice. So lets it cool off a little for it. Turns off. So tell me about your truck.
It's an 86 4 1/4 cat.
Oh, nice B-block.
Just had a major in-frame done. Well, not an in-frame, but a major. Came out of the rails and
Oh, wow.
into the machine shop, and the block was reconditioned.
I'm sure that wasn't cheap.
Machine work was pretty expensive. New rad, new clutch, new transmission, new front drive line, new fuel tank left-hand side, new brakes, new tires, new... Oh gosh, lots.
You've done lots of work to it, huh?
Lots of new.
How long you had it? Do you mind?
Yeah, go ahead. I think about 4 years.
Oh, that's nice. Wow.
It works every day, so it's kind of dirty in there.
Oh yeah, no worries. It's a working truck. That's awesome to see.
But this is a shutdown timer.
Okay.
You turn that up to 15 minutes,
Yeah.
then shut the key off and walk away, and then when it hits 0.
Oh, I get it. That's almost like a kitchen timer kind of deal.
Yeah, they were a pretty popular option back then.
So you still work this truck, huh?
Yeah, it goes every day. It's got pallet mounts on the back now. 3 7.0s with the 15.
Oh, nice. Sweet.
Paint's getting rough, but
Yeah, well, it's a working truck. It's supposed to be like that.
on it first.
Yeah, well, it sounds like you're most of the way there. Boy, she's a beauty.
I want to do a rear cutoff, and there's a place in Spokane
Yeah?
that wrecks the Peterbilt test trucks,
Okay.
and they have anywhere from 60 to 1,000 clicks on them,
Wow.
or 1,000 miles, sorry.
And they'll sell you the cutoff?
They'll sell you fuel tanks, cutoffs, cabs, engines, anything you want.
Huh, isn't that nice?
So the cutoff is $8,500 US.
Nice. So you're just going to cut her off, add a few feet, I'm guessing?
I'm
A little?
thinking 255 or 260.
Oh, that's
Nothing
nice.
crazy.
Nothing too silly.
Sitting out about a 210 now.
Yeah, she's short. It's good for parking.
It's compact. Helps the ride.
You can turn it around. Okay. So Marty is actually the one that bought the poor man's straight pipes. So that's what was on this truck. And now he's got the second generation pipes. Oh yeah. That's how it's supposed to sound. Oh Marty, that's mint. See, if you're a fan of the channel, you'll recognize those. That looks right. Got it on the B blocks. I need a B block for little by little. That's a good looking Pete. I love when truck friends come over to visit. It classes the place up a little. Okay, so as you can tell, it's getting late in the day, and I just don't think I'm gonna get that relay to work. So what I might do, I don't know if I'll order another one or I'll just go to a real shop instead of buying them off Amazon and get a new relay. But I can't end this video without hearing Snowman run. So I'll just kind of hot wire it and see what that sounds like. Okay, flip all my switches. Okay, so where's my piece of wire? So we'll just hot wire across the relay. Man, the key shuts it off. Okay, well that's mint. So yeah, so it shows that it actually will work, 24 volts and 12 volts. It just, something is up with this relay. So I'll get another relay, and in the next episode, hopefully I can get the push button on the dash to work.